This happened to me a while ago, and it's something I've avoided for a long time. Not because I'm afraid of being judged, but because talking about it forces me to relive a night I've spent years trying to forget. Back then, I worked late shifts, usually leaving around 12:45 a.m. Money was tight and overtime was the only thing keeping me afloat. Most nights I was exhausted, running on caffeine and stubbornness, just hoping my old car wouldn't fall apart on the way home. The drive was short, but I always hated it. A narrow two-lane road that cut straight through a thick stretch of woods. No houses, no streetlights, just darkness pressing against the windows. On most nights I blasted music to stay awake, but that night, something felt wrong, the moment I stepped outside the building. The air felt heavy, like the whole world was holding its breath. Even the crickets were silent. I should have trusted that feeling. I should have taken the highway, but I didn't, and that's the decision that changed everything. It was around 15 minutes into the drive when I saw the figure, someone, something, standing in the middle of the road. They weren't waving for help or trying to move out of the way. They just stood there. I slowed down, thinking maybe they were hurt, but the closer I got, the worse I felt. Their clothes were dirty and torn, their feet bare, and their head tilted so far to one side, it looked painful. Still, I rolled my window down just a crack and quietly asked if they were okay. They didn't answer. They didn't even blink. Then they smiled. Not a normal smile. This was stretched far too wide, like the skin around their mouth was being pulled from the inside. My whole body froze. I couldn't think, couldn't breathe. Instinct kicked in, and I threw the car into reverse. I looked into the rearview mirror, praying nothing was behind me. But the figure was suddenly standing right at the back of my car, close enough that I could see their breath, fogging the glass. Their hand dragged slowly across the trunk, long fingers scraping the metal, leaving faint streaks. I slammed the gas and tore out of there so fast my tires kicked up gravel. I didn't sleep when I got home. I sat in the parked car for almost an hour, shaking. When the sun came up, I finally forced myself to check the trunk. There were marks, deep ones, not scratches from a branch, but grooves spaced perfectly, like fingernails. Only. Too long to belong to a person. I told myself I was tired, stressed, seeing things. That's what exhaustion does, right? It makes shadows look alive. It makes your brain betray you. I tried to forget about it. I avoided that road completely. For weeks, nothing happened. And then one night, everything came back. Worse. I woke up at 3:17 a.m. to a dragging noise outside. Slow, heavy, rhythmic. Scrrr! 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 At first, I thought it was a branch against the siding, but branches don't move with purpose. I crept to the window and looked down at the driveway. There, standing under the streetlight, was the same figure. The tilted head, the bare feet, that same impossible smile. They lifted their hand and pointed at my house, and in the silence, I heard the dragging again. But now it was coming from my front door. I dropped to the floor, covered my mouth, and stayed there until sunrise. When I finally checked, the door had long, deep scratches carved into it. I should have called someone. I should have moved. But fear does something strange to you. It convinces you that staying quiet is safer, that pretending nothing happened will somehow make it go away. Except it didn't go away. It just became harder to notice. Now when I drive home, I sometimes see a figure in the fog. Not close, just far enough that I question if it's really there. Sometimes I hear scratching on my windows at night. Light scratching, like fingertips tracing the glass.